If you sell to people in their own homes, then it's possible to identify some of those properties that are going to your website. Look at this example here. This is a business that does target people in their own homes. And you can see over this week they had 469 visitors to their website in total. And we can run a template here called geolocated. And what that does is that identifies the people who went to their website who were possible to be geolocated in some way. So what actually happened is when people went to their website, a box popped up and it said, do you want to share your location? Now, we see anything from 10 to 30% of people say yes to that box. And if they say yes, then it gives us information about where they were actually located when they went to the website. Being able to identify 10 to 30% of all visitors as geolocated can be very useful. In this particular case, there's 131 out of 469 visitors in that week, and that works out at 28%, so it's on the high end of that range. So let's have a look at what you do with that information. Taking this here, we can see somebody visited this website on this date at this time. So it's very late in the evening, so it's highly likely they're at home. And in this case, it's nothing to identify them as anything other than someone who's using Virgin Cable in the UK. But we've got this address here. Now, it might not be this precise address, but it's going to be very, very close. And it does vary depending on the device they used and the internet provider they use. Now, mobile devices are much more accurate, so this is really good for getting close-up analysis from people on mobile devices. So let's just look this up. I'm going to look up the postcode here and search Google for it. Now, this is Google Chrome because it's using Google data for the geolocation. Now, there's websites like 192, and you can go there and you can see the various properties in that area. There's quite a few in this particular area. What you're ideally looking for are properties that have not got many others in the area. That means that you can confidently reach out to them, maybe by post, maybe leaflet dropping. But if someone in that area has been to your website and there's potential value to you, then it does make sense to reach out in some way. Now, if I look this one up as an example, and go through to 192 in this case, what we see here are a few properties in that area. It might not be the specific one that we mentioned here, number 2, but it could have been. The person was on a mobile phone, so it's quite likely that it was that specific address that came to the website, but it might also have been in the area. So if you were thinking about reaching out to people in that area, you might put things through more than one door through the letterbox. And what you would put through would typically be something like a brochure you've got. So if you are local to these visitors, then you might hand post those through letterboxes. Obviously, postage has to be taken into consideration if you're not local to them. But if it's worth it enough for you, you can test the market and just do a few posts out like that and just see what the outcome is. And then you haven't spent too much on the activity versus what you gain. Taking this one as an example, if I was a financial advisor, then I would probably be putting things through each of these doors, just an introductory brochure to the services, because I know that one of the people in one of these properties has been to the website, and so there is an interest. And so for, compared to the cost of even including postage, that could be very much worth it in terms of what I would get if I gained a customer from them opening up something that they've received through that letterbox, and it's just enough to encourage them to make contact, especially if they didn't make contact from the website in the first place. Here's another way to look at it. We've got an identified location of someone who's been to the website, again from a mobile phone, so it's going to be quite accurate. It thinks it's number 66 in that road, and when we look up that area, we can see there's actually quite a few properties within that postcode area, and 66 is one of them. Now, you might not want to post to everyone around here, but you might also think maybe it's worth posting to ones in the surrounding area of that address that's been identified, just in case it's 1 or 2 doors out in terms of the way it's been geolocated. In some cases, you can get very fortunate with the data and what's tracked. Again, this is someone on a mobile phone, and it's picked up geolocation in a different way. It hasn't given a postcode here, it's just given something to look up. And so what we do is we search that information and we go to the map. Now, what a good thing to do here is to click on the layers to go to the satellite view, and immediately you can see there's not many properties in that area. And as we zoom in here, we can get more of a feel of the location of that person when they went to the website. So it's highly likely to be from here. Now, although the software can't tell us the road or exact address, we can see on this map it was this particular road, and just by doing a bit of research into the area around there, you would then work out what the address is to reach out to. And because this is very much a specific address and it can only be this one place that went to your website, then it does make sense to send something in the post to them, because someone at that location is interested in what you're doing. So I hope this is an interesting introduction to geolocation. You do get a lot of data out of it, and although you do sometimes have to pick through that data to find the useful visitors and the ones that are worth sending something out to, it's definitely worth experimenting with.